then I'll also talk a little bit about things that he could have done better. So first, in terms of the objective, introducing himself to the club, Nolan did a really great job with that. Through the speech, we learned many things about him. We learned that he's a great storyteller, that he picks his words very carefully. He used a lot of very precise, very clear language that I really enjoyed. And third, that he's had a lot of cool life experiences, like working in restaurants and doing a lot of different things at restaurants. So first off, one of the things I really liked about how Nolan started off his speech was that he asked us a question. He made it a conversation. And from his first speech, I can tell that one of Nolan's strengths is going to be that he's a conversational speaker. It was really great how in the beginning he asked all of us a question: have any of you worked in the restaurant industry? And it immediately establishes a connection with the audience, which is really important for a good speaker to have. His content was also really good. Like I said before, he uses very precise descriptive language. Some of it was also quite humorous. For example, I liked how he talked about the different roles he had at restaurants, including sandwich artist. Never thought of sandwich artist as a restaurant role. He also talked about having the corner office with the Ferrari. Little things like that were really funny and great nuggets of specific language to use in a speech. Another thing that he did well was, and I can also see that in terms of his style, some of it, of course, it's his first speech, and he can always, there are other things he can improve on in the future, but I could tell that he was doing some gestures when he was describing the roles that he was doing in the restaurant, and those were really helpful for describing his experiences on top of the descriptive language he was using. He asked me to look out for eye contact. I definitely saw that Nolan used eye contact. One thing he could improve on with the eye contact is, I think one thing I want to bring up to improve for next time is to encourage him to, for a speech today, he was mostly behind the podium. So one thing I would encourage him to do is to step out from the podium. It really does make a difference. It allows you to connect better with the audience or closer to the audience, and I think that will also help with the eye contact as well. If you're closer to the audience, you can look at people more directly. And one other thing with the eye contact that I'm also working on is to make each sentence a gift to the audience, for example, is that you want to keep eye contact with one person until you finish a thought, and then you move on to the next person and keep eye contact with them until you finish that thought, and you move on from there. And it makes a big difference and allows you to hold the eye contact longer. So overall, Nolan did a really great job. I look forward to his next speech and can't wait to hear his future queer stories.